All right, let's do this, right? It's time. Let's go. We're back, right? We're right back over here. Like we were just here. Let's do it again. One more time. How you doing there, friends? My name is Jeff Fritz. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. It is April 30th, 2026. And we're going to write a little bit of code today. We're broadcasting live on the Gunnar channels on Twitch, on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, on the website. Hello, people out there shopping for glasses on the Gunnar.com website. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Check out, you got to check out. No, we don't. I know the perfect glasses for you. Hang on right there. Hang on. You got to see these. They actually come in a little triangular case. These are my favorites, all right? You got to see these. Okay, check them out. They're nice and little glasses. Okay, you see them right there? Look at that. These are called the Marin glasses. And of course, when you order a pair of their glasses, you get a cool cleaning cloth. This one happens to be a themed one from The Witcher that I'm using. And there's all kinds of cool themed glasses that you can get. Gunnar ships worldwide, yes, to the UK. There's my link in chat. Thank you so much. Yes, check them out. Lots of great stuff. I'm going to wear my Marin glasses today. And I'm showing my age here with the old school hat. The folks back at Gunnar HQ that are watching probably looking like, where do you get that hat? I've had this hat since 2018. I'm a big fan of Gunnar. We've been wearing their glasses, talking about how great it is to protect your eyes for years on my channels. You can check them out right here. I am csharpfritz on all the channels, on all the websites, even that one that used to be a bird out there. You can find me at all those places. We're going to talk tech for a little bit here. We're going to write some code. I even want to show you how you connect up, right? Many folks don't know this, but how when you type an address into your web browser, how it turns that into the actual location of where that website is. We were working on a website earlier today, and I broke it. The chat room saw me. I broke it. I broke that connection between the name and the actual content that presents that website. Well, in today's stream here, one of the things we're going to do, we're going to stitch those back together, and you're going to learn a little bit about how that works. And it actually makes sense. It's really easy to understand when we break it down into terms that quite frankly, us humans understand, and we're not wrapped up in what the tech folks talk about and describe. Let me head over to our chat room. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube and LinkedIn and all those other great places that our friends from Gunnar have us broadcasting out to. If you're out there, say hello. Drop us a line there in the comments on the Instagram, on all the places. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. And if you're interested in tech, if you want to grow your career, or maybe you're just shopping to protect your eyes, say hello. We've got a great group of folks here that would love to connect with you. So, like some of these folks over here, like I Rossum, Jay Tandon, Codebase Alpha, Robson Previato, and Code with Sean. Thank you so much. Good to see you again. Let me get some music playing in the background, and then we'll get ramped back into the task at hand here, where we left off when I broke things. So I'm gonna go with this is the Stream Beats EDM playlist. No. You know what? I have the rock playlist here. Well, I haven't done this one in a while. Let's do the Stream Beats rock playlist. And let's start here. Never Be the Same. This is music that's DMCA free. It's royalty free. Listen to it wherever you want. It's right there. It's a Stream Beats original. It's music you can listen to. It's instrumental. There's all kinds of genres available. I love the rock. I like synthwave. EDM is great too. There's R&B. There's holiday music. You name it. There's genres of music available for you that you can listen to and use in your recordings and your presentations live on the internet. Check it out. Streambeats.com. There's playlists for Spotify, for Amazon Music, for Apple Music. You can even embed it in your MySpace, I think. I don't know. Is that still a thing? Check it out. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. Rawsome, big wave there. How you doing? So I think I gave a little bit away on our ARG late in the stream there. We were coming out of the interactions we had with... we had a couple hype train. We had a big hype train. And I showed a little bit from the one comment that Charlie made, Charlie, our chatbot, who can be a little ornery. And I shared a little bit of insight and showed that there's some things that are going on a website called quietcipher.dev that looks like it could be Morse code. There might be something to that. Take a look. You might find something new out there that's a little bit interesting to discover and dive into. We've been working on a website during this session, right? We were here Monday night on the Gunnar channels. We were working on a website called streamermap.live, and I pushed out a version of it, and you could get to it, and it was fantastic. No, it wasn't. It was just a very basic, here's the initial service, it's running, have at it. And I pushed an update. I created an update, and I sent it out, and I published that today, and I broke it. So we're going to fix that. I've got all the pieces done for us to go and fix that and apply that, repair it, and we're going to do that in just a few seconds here. Acid Vienna, how you doing in Austria? That's going to pop up. We have natural language processing from my channels that will automatically put an indicator on the map for wherever it is that you say you're from, for as accurate or as inaccurate as you'd like to tell me that you're watching from. So here's Acid Vienna, who might be in Vienna, but saying hello from Austria. So we just put a pin in Austria. And there we go. Now, right, it does happen to be, but the default location that I grabbed was near Vienna. So not bad. Just drop that in there. Code with Sean has a pin for us in... It didn't show up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, because I've already got you somewhere else. You can do your location set command because I've still already got you somewhere else over there on the map. I have you in Plain Corral, Mauritius, but I can't pronounce it. I got a show to run here, so you can exclamation point location set. Or I can do it. I'll do it. I'm a nice guy. What can I say? Tulsa, Oklahoma, and bang. There it goes. Perfect pin every time. Where'd it go?
60% of the time it works every time.
Yeah, 60% of the time, every time. That's a thing. Continuing, we have 33 viewers on the map. Our high for the last week was 34, and that was actually coincidentally last Thursday. So maybe we'll break our week high number of viewers on the map today. Let's see if we get some more viewers chiming in and dropping pins on the map for us. I'm not going to put a pin on the map to break the record. It's not going to be me that does that. So, continuing, shall we? So I mentioned we got a fix over here for the streamer map service. So the streamer map service is over here, and there's, first off, for those of you who might not know, when you build a website, it is made up of several different components. There's several different applications or services that work together to deliver that website. And for this website that I have that's going to manage and show those pins for all the streams, I've got things like a registry, this type of application, an environment that manages those container applications. Here's another container application called Front End. I've got Log Analytics Workspace, Managed Identity. So this is where my logging is. This is the user that that runs these so that we have a limited user who's only allowed to do certain things. So that's that user. And all the data gets stored in this storage account. Now, if we take a look at the API for a second, the API is one container out here. And if I go look at the scale, see, this should be a 1-in-1. So it doesn't scale and bring in more instances. And there's a way to configure that in here. Yeah. And I've been working with, that one. I've been working with Copilot to go and get all the configuration done. And I broke the configuration for the website. I also want to make sure that the API service, when it's delivered, has a minimum and maximum of 1 instance that's allocated. All right. So I have some instructions for how to configure that domain name. So what I need to do is I need to do some one-time custom binding. I need to take my name and configure it and connect it to that front-end website that's out there. So I need to give it, that's right. And then I'm going to get a certificate name for that. And that's easy. Okay. So I'm going to open the container app, go to custom domains, and add streamermap.live and follow those instructions. So let's go do that. Over here in the resource group, I'm going to the front end. And we're going to go to custom domains right here. Because I'm applying my own domain name to this thing. So I'm going to add a custom domain, and I need to open my name service. And I'm making sure that I log in there off screen so that I don't give everybody my user ID and password and all that good stuff. So, 1 second here. I need to give it. Come on now. There it is. Yes, good. And I'm going to be managing. Show me all my domains. I've got a lot of domains here, so I'm making sure that I get zoomed in on just the one we're working on before I put that screen up on the screen. So, use a managed certificate, and the domain that I want is streamermap.live. And it wants me to create an A record here. An A is an address. So think about it. When you use your phone, right, and you want to call someone, you have a name card, right, a contact card on your phone that says, for Jeff, here's the phone number to call. You don't know that phone number too much anymore. That's not a thing we need to do because we have contact cards. What you do is you pick up your phone and you say, call Jeff. Or you scan for Jeff's phone number on your phone and you click that, and it translates that into the actual number that it's going to go and call. That translation from that contact card to that phone number, 555-1212, that phone number, good, you can call me at that number, 555-1212. That translation is done on the phone. That's the same thing that a service on the internet does for you. But in order for my website that's running over here on this service to answer on that, to know that it's going to answer and to register itself as I'm the place that you're going to deliver that, we have to create this A record, that contact card, in what's called a registry that says, here's where to go and here's where to send it. And that's what I'm just about to do. So streamermap.live, and I have an A record here that I'm going to fill in And it's 20. I think that might be the same one. Yep, it is. And then I have a text record that is Fox Dog Bravo. Yes. Echo 7 6 Bravo. Yes, we're good. Okay. Go ahead and validate that, and it should find it. Makes it super easy to understand. Yeah, right, Rossum? I think what I like to do when I teach folks, I like to break things down into metaphors, into comparisons that we can all relate to, right? If there's a comparison, something we can all relate to, then it becomes really easy for us to connect on those things and reuse that concept, and now we can talk at another level. So then not only do I want to add that, and it's going to create and set up a certificate here. We'll talk about what a certificate is in a moment. I'm also going to set up streamermap.live on the dub location, and this wants to go to, that's a different location, so I'm going to copy that. Jump back over to my registry over here. My registry is called Namecheap. Why? Because it stores names and I'm cheap. So this is going to front end Proud River 125 Foxtrot 705 Alpha East US 2. Yep. Wow. And then the text is the same. Fox Dog Bravo Echo 76 Bravo 2 Foxtrot 1. Yep, we're good. Go ahead and validate that chalupa. And I got a green. Go ahead and click add. Now, the certificate. Let me head over here. Let's take a look. What's it need here? The certificate name. Those are right, but I need to get the certificate name. It's going to, yeah, see, there they are. Refresh that chalupa. Do we have any updates? No. Do we have one? Yes. Do it. Do it now. And we should see that come online in just a second. Devious? I don't think it's devious. No. Oh. Okay, Codebase Alpha found an achievement. Wait, are you referring to that as being devious, that achievement? Did you like that one? There we go. So that one's secured. So I'm going to try and add the binding for dub. Yeah, like, I'm trying to make sure that I don't make them difficult. Like, really far out there, things that you have to go and dig and discover. I think the discovery for the journal pages in the maker, that one's hard. That one's hard. So this is okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I actually have two custom domain names to define for the front end site. Both the bear streamermap.live and dub streamermap.live. Help me configure both of those. I have their Azure domain, both of their domains assigned on Azure. Yeah, sure, whatever. The journal's killing you. The journal is complex on this one. Not gonna lie. Coding Bandit, hello. Good to see you. That's our friend Carrie. Welcome. We've broken a record for viewers on the map. We are at 35 on the week. Good to see you. Hello. Yeah, big hype on that. So we're going to get these two set up in just a second. 2 domain requirement is captured. Updating the deployment map to path to carry both of those. Waiting on that pass. Well, okay. And I have all the information, so I'll key them in. So then what'll happen is next time I deploy, it'll connect all those. Your son was driving his semi in Philadelphia earlier today. Did he see all the orange and black? Because Philadelphia right now is going a little bonkers for our Philadelphia Flyers. There we go. Look at that. We're going to get another pin on the map for Pickerington, Ohio. Yeah. Look at that. 36 on the map today. So we've got a new record. Yeah, lots of orange and black. Poolside in Knoxville. It didn't get that quite right for you there, Walter. Yeah. So good to see you again. I'll drop in that update. Knoxville, Tennessee. There we go. Move that pin right there. Yeah, go. Oh my goodness. So I was wearing my orange and blacker on the earlier stream. Today, the afternoon, not so much. Wearing a little bit of black. I've actually got my .NET Run shirt on today. And the Gunnar hat, of course. Yeah, how you doing, McNets? Thank you for coming back. Let me see here. I think whatever. Continuing on. Where was I? Oh yeah. Is this... It's still configuring and API scaling is done. The delivery path now pins the API app to exactly one replica. Good. The number of front ends, I don't care how many there are. They're front ends. You let that scale. So, I've been getting ready. Can I show the I'm going to show the artist again, because I'm kind of proud of where this one's going, and I think it's really landed somewhere cool. Yeah, I'll restart that. So the next puzzle website in the ARG that I call Ghost Weight is coming this weekend, I'll say. I'm trying to get it out for tonight. We'll see if it lands properly. But the preview that I'll show is a series of paintings. And these will be arriving and available starting this week. Is Charlie mouthing off again over there? That's right, Copilot. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Can we get a quote from the doctor?
This code is basically one big ball of wibbly wobbly, hacky wacky stuff.
I don't think that's exactly what David Tennant said, but it's close enough. So you're going to have some paintings coming that you're going to be exploring and taking a look at, and you're going to learn more about where these paintings came from starting this weekend. Okay, create the Azure required A record. I did that. Yes. Are added to the front-end container app custom domains. They are. Developers. Is it Votas? Thank you so much. Welcome. Hey, Twitch Dog. It sounds like a David Tennant as Scrooge McDuck. Kind of. All right. The repo now supports rebinding both front-end names. Yeah. Okay. Streamer map front-end container app. Only if RG has multiple public container apps. No. What do I do? What do I do with the certificate names? Like, they got to go somewhere, right? Because I think what it's doing, it's just updating this. Streamer map, front end custom domains, front end container app. Yeah, yeah. In deployment config, apply our Azure only operational details, not workflow inputs. But hang on, you were asking me for the certificate names before. Why don't you need them now? Question mark. In deployment config. Move to a post-deploy binding script. Oh. Okay. How does that work? Can't you just hard code those values in Azure Dev? Just go hard code those things. How you doing, Twitch dog? Yeah, it's a... I never heard David Tennant as Scrooge McDuck. Like, I need to find that. There's a thing there that I need to experience. It's set up for flexibility, not because it must be dynamic. Hard coding would look like... What still would not be solved, the one-time Azure custom domain binding and DNS validation. Yes, I already did that. No. So, fine, I'm going to copy those in. If you're not going to do it, I'm going to. Right there. Streamer map, front end, custom domains. Event sub. Wait, what? Azure event sub, callback, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Callback base URL right there. That one. Just like that. Event sub, callback base URL. Yes, you too. Got it. Yes. I think that's it. So where's the script that actually is wiring up the certificates? Question mark. Hey, hello, average person 32. I'm back, Mythin. That's right. Yeah, we're gonna get this all connected. We're broadcasting on the Gunnar channels. I'm wearing my Gunnar Marin glasses. These are nice. While this is doing the research, let me show you. These are nice, thin, very thin wire glasses that are really nice. You see how nice and thin the amber glasses are there. There's no rims on them, so you don't have that annoying line at the bottom of your eyes when you're looking through them. The other thing that I like about these, right, they're curved enough, they're nice and small, they fit really nice on my face. They're a really nice light pair of glasses, and I think, quite frankly, they look a lot like the glasses that I normally wear when I'm not wearing contacts. So, all good things. Big thanks to the folks at Gunnar for hosting us today and letting us connect with some of you out there that might be watching on the Gunnar website. Maybe you're watching on the Gunnar Instagram or Twitch channels or the Facebook or the friend feed or Mixer or wherever you might be. Welcome in. It's so good to see you. Yeah, thanks for the link there, Sean. Appreciate it. Certificate binding script is this. The actual management happens in here. Azure.yaml is what runs it after deploy. Oh, well, look at that. Isn't that fun? Let me see. Where's Azure. Is that referenced somewhere here? I don't think it is. Where do you see Azure.yaml? Where's that? It's down here. Well, okay. I'm going to guess that you're right. The repo moved away. Okay. Well, I think I have everything put together, inserted, and ready to go. Let's get this all set up and deployed. Commit and push, please. Let's see what happens. So, there. You love your Gunnar sunglasses? I have a couple pairs of Gunnar sunglasses. Oh, shoot. I left them in my laptop bag. I have a pair of the Reaper from Overwatch glasses that are made as sunglasses. And they look choice. So cool wearing those. Let me tell you. Like, I should be wearing them while skiing type of cool. You know? Then I'll feel like one of those evil dudes in all the 80s teen movies. Right? Or one of the guys in Hot Tub Time Machine. I can't believe I just referenced Hot Tub Time Machine. Like, anyways. Waiting for on the ship, no ship call. Do it. Just do it. And then we're gonna go add more features. So the question that I want to see if I can figure out is, right, can we set this up so it'll listen to a Zoom call? Because if I can get it to listen to a Zoom call, then for like user group meetings over Zoom, I don't know anybody who would do that. You could run this for that also. And show, look at how far people away are that are listening in and participating. It's just sticking here. It's sticking. Are you stuck? I think you're stuck. Go get unstuck. And move your truck. I think that's a thing. Not stuck? Okay. We were working on SharpSite, our CMS as well. We were working on this earlier. We can close. No, I'm just going to leave that open. I'm going to leave that open and tuck it down here. Yeah. Let's see. So I wanted to experiment with having Copilot just run with a bunch of features. So here, refresh the issues list. So we just committed and shipped a version of SharpSite, our CMS. And we had it create a milestone called the version after this. And we finished, let me close out 07. Yeah, close that. You're done. Thank you. So it put together this list of features that we're going to do in this next release. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to use the looping feature of the AI to go through and work on all of these capabilities. Auto saving of content in the text editor, badges and logo to the README for this repository, display summary or full post on the home page, delete a page, content security policy, way to end-to-end test the out-of-box experience. I think we've already got that. Initial configuration with a logo, site logo to be maintained in admin UI, first user with admin access, fav icon, administrators to set up custom CSS, plugin to add nav links to the sitemap, and on and on. So, wrong one, over here. Good. Let's review the items in the 0.8 milestone, and let's discuss what additional information you need to work on those items. Period. Ask me questions necessary to evaluate and be able to deliver each of the issues in this version. As I answer the questions, make sure you update those issues on GitHub appropriately so that you have that information when it comes time to work on the issues in this milestone. Period. Let it go. So now I've turned things around. I've got an initial idea of what some of these features are, but now I'm turning things around so that instead of me telling the computer, telling the AI, hey, go build these things, now I'm turning it around. I've given it some initial ideas. You ask me what you need to know in order to build these things, right? This way, it gets its specification so that it knows here's how to build those things. And I'm sure that I've delivered a complete specification because it's asked me for all the things that it needs to have a complete specification, right? So let's see how it does. So it's reviewing the milestone right now. I'm going to jump over here while it's doing this. Look up and review, and you can see here it's getting the issue list from GitHub, right? Right there. It scrolled. And now it's getting the information about the milestone. So it's going to go do that. This says not stuck anymore. Good. Ship it. Ship it. Ship it. We want to see our website. Let me see here. So I did move those domain names over. So they're here and they're both marked secured. So I should be able to go to streamermap.live and I'm in. The URL works. And here we are, streamermap.live, c.csharpfritz, and there it is. So this is the public site. This is the version that I'm making available for everyone. This is the full featured one that I built. But the idea is, and I'm saying this also for our friends at Gunnar, if they'd like to get access and be able to do this, I'm going to allow folks to be able to customize and set up their channels over here. And right now it only works with Twitch, but we'll expand it so it connects into other services. And you'll be able to control and display what appears on that map. And viewers can share their location with this !map command. So, I think there's also some sort of a concept of not just here's my account and unify all these channels that are broadcasting at the same time on this. But I think there's probably, in the case of Gunnar, where I'm broadcasting on the Gunnar channels and my channels, there's probably some sort of unification of, I want to be able to collect from multiple Twitch channels and place them here. Where are you? Look at this. Pyrocat, how you doing? In Fritz's something in the UK? And evidently, I'm in Leeds. I'm in Leeds. And I can get in a little bit closer. Don't tell me there's like a bar there. Don't tell me. Oh my gosh. There's a bar on Hare Hills Lane called Fritz's. You can steal my hat collection. So there you go. Right. This service I have set up so that you can change your location as much as you like. So I can do right, I can do something like this. And there it is. I'm in Disney World. No. Kennedy Space Center. Put me on the Space Coast.
Did you know that you can't actually just hope your way through a deployment? I didn't know that either until just now.
Hey, I've been using Copilot to help me with these things there, Charlie. I don't need you mouthing off about that. Re-review release candidate. Hmm? Yeah, make it so. So, right, Kennedy Space Center. Fantastic place to visit if you ever have a chance to go. And going across one of these little bridges, it's kind of nutty. Cape Canaveral is one of the parts of the Kennedy Space Center. The Space Force Station up here, the Visitor Center is up in here, but when you go to actually see, like, where the rockets take off, it's... Where is it? Yeah, the launch pads are out in here. And it's just an amazing sight. Just the sheer size of the vehicles. Hey, Johan. Totally recommend it. If you... Yeah. First time you touch the ocean was there. I'll be here in Wildwood, New Jersey this weekend. Come on now. Sea Isle City, Avalon, 7 Mile, Stone Harbor. Yeah, I'll be down here in Wildwood, New Jersey this weekend. So, probably won't go in the water because it's still cold. It's cold. So, how's this doing? Re-reviewing over here. Here we go. Now it's asking me. Here's right. I told you I'm turning around, working with the computer, so it asks me questions. For issue 351, what counts as validation complete? Yeah. I think it's already done. Close that ticket. Because we did that in our last pull request. So. And I know I'm using terms like pull request without explaining that. For the non-technical folks, pull request is when you have a collection of changes that you're asking somebody to pull into the larger managed repository of source code that makes up an application. So, hey, I'm done this. Can you take this in and review and assimilate it, merge it in with the rest of the application? And that's what we call a pull request. All right. Having it closed, and we're going to move on. There'll be more questions that it'll come up with here. So the AI lets me do multiple things at once without having to think too much about them. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. I'm thinking a lot about these things. Totally. Thinking about a lot. Lots and lots. Writing the code is just one piece of the software process. So we need to pay attention to the other parts of the process. So let it do these things and how it manages and merges. And that's the problem that I have right now over on the big Microsoft Azure, that I didn't pay attention to how we configure some of those things and broke it. Got it moving again. Good. Do it. Just push that, John. That's right. Go ahead. Let's go. Let's push that, John. I want to get this thing delivered and moving along here to my next feature, all right? Notice the AI doesn't know how to say the word John. Like, who knew? Like, come on. Some years ago, we had somebody complaining why he didn't use native words for Git terms. We translated them, and it sounded like some weird NSFW talk. Yeah. Yeah. I believe it. Here we go. Here's my next question. For issue 350, how should the forced password reset behave for the seeded admin account? Yeah, I like that. Block access to the admin area until... So when you first install the application, like, we have an admin address, you're going to key, admin password, you're going to key in. You can't get access until the password is changed. Makes sense. Let's go. Next question. So see, it's going to update the issue number for us. So if I go up here, 350. Or I could just key it in. 350. Routed to Simon. Forced to Simon. No, that was a while ago. That was fixed. 350 is done. Hang on. Issue 350 on the upstream is complete. I've closed it. Move on. Yeah. Hey, Witty Gambit. Hello. See, now it's on. Yeah, let's keep walking. This is not the issue you're looking for. Luke. No. Come on now. I'm waiting. You're thinking too much. This one's still thinking. No, it's looking... No, you should be looking in the upstream repository for milestone 0.8. Good thing mind tricks don't work on you. I'm going to get real frustrated real quick here. Just push this site. You're on Code Rush channel earlier and you had an issue with Squad spinning up general purpose agents. Yes, I have seen that. And it's actually... I think there's a larger issue with some of the models in Copilot ignoring the agent and skill configuration. And I ran into this, and I didn't realize it because I kicked off a process and I didn't hear the bell that it was done working. So I didn't look back at it until almost a half hour, 45 minutes later. And I went and looked, and it was not running with my configuration, my agents, my skills. It didn't have any of that, and it was off doing its own thing. And at some point in the process, it went from using my agents and skills to discarding them and saying, I know better, and went off on its own doing something that it was not assigned, something that was out of scope, and just decided to do its own thing and ignore the charters. I've really seen that with the Opus 4.7 model. I think we're seeing a little bit of this with GPT 5.4, where I've told it, push. No, I'm going to do another review and inspection, and no, push. I finished your commands here. Push. And, like, there's all this stuff in here. What did you modify? And I told it to push. Well, I'm going to do another review. It won't let me cancel. They do overthink. That's right, Hulk. Yeah. Sometimes you found Sonnet to be much better than Opus for a task at hand. I agree with you on that. But it's... The CLI tool is breaking out of the agent. Like, I've selected an agent here, and the CLI stops using the agent. Like, it just flat stopped using Squad at all. Well, I don't need to use Squad. No, that's your agent. Use it. Like, I'm gonna kill the CLI here. I can't. Like, and then this one over here. Oh, good. All right. Let me kick this one off, and then I'll go back to the other one. 11 skills, 4 MCP servers. So 11 skills. There was a point where it came back and said, I don't have any skills. What do you mean you don't have any skills? Yeah, what the heck did it do? Like, there's 27 files changed in here. It rewrote skill files. Well, okay, these are Azure things. I'm okay with that. It changed some of... Okay. Right, like... Yeah, okay. All right, all right. Commit and push these changes to Origin. And then I'm going to set up a pull request up there, and we'll make sure that it all tests properly. Yes. That's the one. I think you're right. A little bit of context rot. I'm glad you found an existing team. No, just push. Just push. Do I need to get Salt and Pepper in the room and start singing? Just push it. Push it real good. Push. Let's answer some questions over here. For upstream milestone 08, should we define the 08 release scope? Let's review the 11 additional upstream. That's fine. So review the existing issues in the upstream 0.8 milestone. Ask me questions about those issues that you need to know more about in order to build and plan the delivery of this milestone. No, I should have updated squad while I was there. Did it push? Looks like it, well, it committed, it didn't push. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Review changes. Okay. Looks like it pushed. Yes. Now, that should deploy. Great. I squashed and merged, and we're waiting for our first deployment. Period. Reset and clean up from the origin repository. And we'll continue features on that in just a minute. All right, over here we're starting to get questions. What must the end-to-end testing validate for us to call it done? App host plus key page loads. Yeah, sure, do that one. Login, admin UI, post, create, save, publish. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure. For a content management system. Write that into the upstream issue as acceptance criteria. Fantastic. Let's see. Keeping an eye on all the things. And our Discord has tracking of these issues as well. Logged into a couple of project channels. So, you're going and listing again. You had a list. Resetting the checkout, clearing the merch branch leftovers. Good. Fantastic. It's on the main branch. We should be able to see it deploy then. It failed. It failed?
Oh my.
Yeah. Building app host. Because you said, no, yeah. You restored the wrong thing. There's an error with the deployment. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this one. Yeah, over here. Thank you. Just clear up all that junk. This one. Restore this one, and it restores just the tests. You're not back from watching hockey? Ooh. I'm going to tell this to restore from my solution file. So it goes in, right? Because my solution has the tests in it. Streamer map API tests. So it'll do a restore on the whole shebang. So I'm going to say source. And it's actually just source SLN. That should work. And then we'll publish. I've become so much more of a point and click guy inside of VS Code. So, how's things, Thindall? Watching hockey, who's playing? I wanted to get a Stockholm or a Team Sweden hat when I was in Stockholm, and I couldn't find one. Like I know hockey is big in Sweden. Sweden versus Switzerland. See? Like, come on now. 8-1. Oh. Like, come on. How you doing, Bograt? Go ahead, take a picture. You know what that hat is. You know what that hat is.
Gunnar hat confirmed.
Gunnar? There we... Oh. Assets file... Streamer map API tests. It's in the solution, man. That was in the run backend tests step. here. No, you can do the restore there. I'm okay with that. So let's bump that one, do this. Lots of obsolete messages in there we're going to have to go through and clean up. If you look per player, Switzerland was actually better, but their teamwork wasn't. I feel that one. Like, that's what gets lower skilled teams past more skilled teams, right? Better collaboration. Working together, playing together as a team. Passing, and then the pass receiver just wasn't there. I hear that one. Let me go back over while I think that's finishing. How should the first admin user be created? Code-based seeding only. No, give me an interactive setup wizard. Yeah. We're answering some questions about how we're going to kick off some design for the CMS we were building a long time ago called SharpSite. And I'm just going to let the loop run on it. And the streamer map, we're fixing and getting it loading and deploying properly here. It's going to finish installing Playwright here and then run its smoke tests. And then we will build more features. So that's localhost. I don't want to see that right now. So there's the live site. So the front end, I'm okay with it scaling to 10. Smoke end tests worked, logging in with the big Microsoft Azure, and provisioning and deploying. Come on. That's going to take a little bit to run. Uh-oh. Didn't want to open that. Didn't want to open that. Issue 328. What scope should custom CSS support and what sanitation rules? I want a little bit of both, site-wide and per page. Scale to 10, can't crank it up to 11. That's right. Let's see. Done provisioning. When it gets to deploy, that's the one I'm looking for. Oh, Thindall asking for a code review. All right. All right. Let's see what we get. Deploying the API. Updating the application. That's the one I'm concerned about. Let's go back over here. We should see scale stay at 1. So it says API is done, and it's still 1. So let's go back to the front end app. I hear you over there. Let's see if it still has the custom domains. They're there. Updating application. This is the one. Gone. Gone. There it is, failed. No. I don't want that. No, I'm not. No. I know there's a feature in Aspire. Let's do this. Ooh. Oh, get them out of here. No. Like, that's a long time ago. I know there's a feature in Aspire where I can define the custom domain name as part of a project that's deployed. Period. Take a look at the Microsoft documentation and help me configure that for the front-end application on line 120. Right, there's like... Is it... Publishes Azure Container App. And then there's a action. So if I do something like this, yeah, configure custom domain API. Yeah. Yeah, okay, it's looking at the code that I wrote right now. Am I using VS Code agents? Kind of. Yeah, there's extension methods that modify the bicep files. Yes. I wanted to do that instead of having a callback, because when it has a callback, there's some time where it's just kind of dead. And I need to configure 2 custom domains. 2. So, yes. But, okay, go ahead. Keep all that. Sure. Keep everything. Why don't you like this? Sure. Suppress the diagnostic. Yes. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that because I'm going to hard code these. And dub. Yeah, certificate name like that. How'd you know? The custom domain is streamermap.live. Why don't you like that? Because it wants it as a parameter. You stink. Fine. What am I using is reliability. It's been out there. It works. The Aspire Publish has some moving pieces right now that I'm going to avoid in the short term. Right, so these are... Where is it pulling that from? I think it's... No... Streamer map.live. What's the next one? It is certificate name. Really? What? Why am I going through that? And the certificate name for... It's gone. Jeez. No, what the heck?
The body cannot live without the mind, Fritz.
No, it can't.
Your code cannot live without proper architecture.
And this is streamer map live. There they are. The binding for this one is that. Do it. Yeah, I know. There they are. See? Was that so hard? So the certificate name is that. There's that. I think that's everything. Please verify that I have the right map settings configured. For this, and yep, that one. Just verify it and we'll move on. There's a critical issue here. Yeah, what's the issue? Reads from parameters. I knew. Yeah, yeah, we need to do that. All right. So I need to put them in the parameters. Oh, look at that. It's suggesting the right thing. So I need to do the same deal here. Configure custom domain. Yeah, there it is. I think that's all she wrote. Come on. Yep, commit it, push it. We should see, there it goes. And this should stay the same. I've tried doing the caching thing with this and it won't cache them. I don't know why. It just does a terrible job with the cache. Running app host, good. Building app host. Back-end tests, good, good. I'm hopeful here. Because that stuff didn't change. 283 passed. It's this one right here, the Playwright browsers. Cache that stuff. Right. Just do should cache. While that's running along here. For issue 272, what should the Playwright badge display? Total test count. Sure. How we doing? Install Playwright, front-end smoke tests, they work. Womp womp, provision infrastructure. Oh, thank you, Frank. Okay. So I need to put these values. I got an error about missing values for provisioning on this. I have the values in can you update the deploy script and configure those GitHub secrets? Configure those values in the script. Go. Like, this is taking way too long already. Like, just make it happen. Should the site fav icon be user editable? Yes. Right, and we still have sharpsite.net, and there was somebody who set up sharpsite.com, and they're using my exact same logo. Oh. Did I give up the sharpsite.net domain name? I might have. I think I might have. Yeah. Sharpsite.org is where I am. Sharpsite.net is available at a premium $434 and renews at $18 next year. Oh yeah, never remove. For issues 320 and 321, should logo and fav icon upload share one unified image management UI or separate upload? Let's try it as one, and we can change that later if we need to. How about over here? How are we doing on this? No, just copy the values into the Azure Dev and wire them into the process. Hey, Haley, it is Vocifer. Hello. Developers. We got you in London. Device Dev. Hello. There we go. What model I'm using? And am I using? I'm using GPT 5.4. Yeah, just edit the workflow. Just hard code it in. I don't need to think about this. But you're right, Thindall. Just add domains. That's all we ever do. Add domains. It's part of the growing Jeff Fritz stable of websites. Right? Websites like this one. And this one. And this one. And more coming soon. Is it better than Claude Sonnet 4.6? different. It doesn't explore like Claude does. Added these environment variables. Good. Yep. That's not the variable that it wanted. I'm just going to edit it. Here. You. This one. Like it's right there, but it's not right. Right? Like Azure certificate name. This one. Azure custom domain. Azure www certificate name. Yeah, what a... And Azure www custom domain. What a pain in the neck. Like, it clearly didn't follow the instructions. I updated the environment variables in that file to match the names that were expected according to the GitHub action. Yeah, you're not going to accept that. Instructions? What do you mean I need to follow those? Okay, over here, there's another question. For issues 309 and 299, what delete behavior should pages and posts use? Yeah, that's fine. Move to a trash or recycle bin. Here we go again. Moving people around on my map, I see. Where did you go? Northern tip of Alaska, eh? Jeez. We're at a record on the week with 40 people on the map. Big thanks. Everybody who's dropped their name and a location, as accurate or inaccurate as it might be. Much appreciate. McNets has a link for us. VS Code agents application. Yeah, I don't have Insider installed. Yeah, I don't have this. Yep, because it's insiders. Right, I'm trying to manage the exposure I have to pre-release bits. It should have worked as a greeting. Yeah, we had somebody else from Montreal in a little bit earlier as well. Peter DePully, yeah. Oh no. I see. Uh-oh. How we doing on that deployment? Fail! Oh, man. One second here to answer that. These are here. I defined them. Azure _ certificate name. Oh, they were on provision also. Fine. Make me do it again. Make me go through the commits of shame. Do I find GitHub Copilot experiences better in VS Code and in... because I'm doing less actual coding and debugging, it's a more lightweight experience in VS Code. If I was doing more debugging and some performance inspection, I'd be over in Visual Studio. But I've been doing enough vibe coding like approach. I just run at the CLI. Run at the CLI and tell it to create tests. But I've also got unlimited tokens, so I don't care when I tell it to do things. Like, I don't care that it costs me how many more tokens to tell it, go run a commit. You know? Like, I know how to do it, but you go do it. There are Diablo skins out in Overwatch. I've got one of them. I don't know how many of the others I want. And they're kind of expensive, so I'm kind of... Oh, no. Okay, we're good. We're good. Vibe prime coding? What do you mean by prime coding? I don't need a Diablo theme in Overwatch. You have Diablo. Well, I have Diablo as well. I have Diablo 1, 2, 3, and 4. Better word for vibe coding when you know how to code? Hyper-productive coding is what I've heard folks refer to it as. So, come on. Do I have the new expansion for 4? No. So, I got... Mrs. csharpfritz really likes playing Diablo together, and she's like, hey, we've got a discount. We can get an Xbox literally for free. This was last Christmas, not this past, but the Christmas before. So we picked up an Xbox. We picked up the Xbox with Diablo 4. We played it for a bit, and it is awful on the Xbox. Diablo 4 is just brutal. It's so much better on the PC. It's great on the PC. But I haven't played it because I don't have hours to devote to playing Diablo right now. drop in 5-10 minutes, 15, maybe 20 minutes to play Overwatch, done. I'm there. I can get in and out. If a dev vibe codes, the result is better than if a non-technical person does. Agreed, Frank. Yes. It's great that more people can code. So we were talking earlier today about the guy, was it Pocket OS? Was that the group that was complaining? There it goes with the provision. At what cost? Well, it's a couple 100,000 tokens. How's that? We were talking about the guy that was complaining that Claude wiped out his production database and wiped out all the backups. As a developer, you don't have access to production. Period. You don't. And if you don't, then your AI doesn't either. Like, that's just good code hygiene and process, and you don't know process. You went live and ran a company without a professional working at it. This is why you need a professional, and there are standards that we have for how we build, maintain, and separate things. You have prod access, just not from your dev machine. That's right. There was a time that I had source code access at work. I was not allowed to use a standard machine to connect and interact with product source code. I had to use a special machine that had certificates authorized, validated, and stored with the company. And then in order for me to even turn it on, I had to insert a smart card into it in order to be able to, like, it wouldn't boot up. It would start the boot sequence and say smart card missing if my smart card wasn't in it. And it was very secured, so that I had to validate. I had my smart card, I had my login credentials, and it was a machine that was validated and approved to be allowed to connect and interact with those services. Yeah, that post-deploy doesn't work. Come over here. And you're still hanging. Is adding a CSP header, a ship blocker? Yeah, that can slip. I'm still getting failures with the provision and deploy. Period. It looks like the post-deploy script isn't working properly. Period. Now that I've set up things in my Azure configuration with AZD, let's remove the post-deploy script so that I don't get this error that we see in... Let's see what it does. That should finish it, and hopefully we'll... It's been taking us 2 hours fighting this script, because we've been doing this since we started our stream with Gunnar here. Hopefully we'll get this deployed in just a minute. And then we'll be able to maintain and work on Streamer Map. But this shouldn't take this long. Oh, shoot. Hang on. right. The dog got into something he shouldn't have. I'm... Okay. Okay, so that looks like it's updating and running properly. Back over here, some more questions about what we're working on for the Sharp site. Is the homepage post-display mode toggle a required? No, that can slip. And that's going to continue going. We're just about out of time here together on the Gunnar stream. And I have some things that are coming up that I need to take care of. And evidently I've got a dog that, like I said, got into something he wasn't supposed to. Let's see if there's another question here we can go. Yeah, very fun. Only drop the production database once. After that, you've learned not to? Yes. But yeah, the folks from Pocket OS only had one that was 3 months old. Like, they didn't understand how to manage and run a service. Tier 3 scope pass. What is a tier 3 scope pass? Never fire the guy who made an honest mistake. Yep. He won't make that mistake again. For issues 208 and 209, should the admin file browser and editor ship in 08? No. It's one file browser. Ship it in 08. So it's trying to narrow down scope here and get things delivered here. Yes. Drop the now unused binding script, trim the docs. Good. Like, what are you doing? Here we go. It really... Why are you going and reloading this every time? Stop reloading the issue list every time I give you a response. It's darn right it's burning tokens. The post-deploy hook is gone. The repo no longer pretends to manage custom domain rebinding from inside the deployment pipeline. Remove the post-deploy hook. Deleted, cleaned up the workflow. Okay. And you didn't commit anything. I'll let it finish that. Next question. Good. Continue your interview of me. It's the general purpose agent. It's not obeying the squad that I've allocated to it. See, now the squad's running. For issue 212, do I want autosave in 08? No, defer that. That's right, for the existing queue only. So it's loading that agent and going to hand things off. What are you doing? This is awful. For the plugin life cycle, should these features ship? Okay, yeah, go ahead, let it slip. Should the README badges work? Yes, they should work in V080. Streamer Map says it's done. Commit and push these changes. What, do you think I'm just going to stare at them here? And come on now. Back over here. This is really painful, this interview process, waiting 5 minutes between each question, period. Download all of the issues locally. Read through and ask me about each of the questions with an interviewer, and as I answer each question, spawn a task in the background to go and save off the information from my question to the issues so that I can stay engaged with a foreground interviewer while background tasks are going and updating the issues. Right? And don't be an idiot and forget this. Remember this so that the next time I do an interview with you and I'm talking through features, remember it so that we do this more efficiently next time. No, I shouldn't write that. Although the fact that it's sitting there thinking and not actually doing anything, it did feel good. You're right. Like, you're thinking, what are you doing? Committed and pushed. Did you? Okay. So we should be able to see it doing some work over here. And this should still be still there. So back-end test, front-end dependencies. While that's running, come over here. Let's see. I'm not worried about that. Once that lands, the interview phase is effectively done. We can switch straight into locking. Oh, good. Fine. And I'm going to let this finish updating. Yeah, and I'm actually going to end here. Our folks on Gunnar are going to be signing off. And nope, still didn't deploy properly. Still doesn't have the domain. We had these. We had these just a minute ago. Don't tell me it went and reverted it. I'm willing to bet it reverted it on me. It did. That turkey reverted it. All right. We're going to say goodbye to our friends on the Gunnar streams. I'm going to fix this and we'll get this updated. Have a fantastic day if you're on the Gunnar channels. Thanks so much for joining us. And I'm going to get this part updated real quick because it went and removed those. And that makes me